Hello, hello, and welcome to Inklings with Irena, the weekly energy show connecting you to your intuitive guidance system. And today I want to talk about what's the rush? Because there's a lot of things that feel rushed in life right now. I don't know if you've been feeling it, but many of my clients have been coming to me overwhelmed. There's way too much to do on their plates. Feels like the world is falling down around their ears. Everything's coming apart. And it's kind of like trying to run up the side of the hill where it keeps crumbling beneath you. That's why I wanted to jump on today, because I want to share with you what I've been sharing with them to help. If we haven't met yet, my name is Irena Miller, and I'm an intuitive energy guide, and I have been guiding visionary empaths for over 2 decades with my signature energy recipes that includes a variety of sacred practices, including yoga and tarot and crystals and energy healing. Oh my goodness, I bring so many joyful things together because it truly is a joy for me to create these recipes. Okay, let's dive in. Well, I want to start off with a little bit of an analogy because life gets busy. We have our head down and we just keep going through, and the to-do list keeps piling up. So let me know how you keep track of your to-dos. Do you guys like to make lists? Do you use an app? If you use an app, let me know. I seem to try 10 million different things, but I definitely love the digital approach right now because the papers are overwhelming as I look around my office. I'm trying to go paper-free. But regardless, the to-do list, it does build. And that's why I wanted to jump on, because the analogy that's been helpful for me is thinking of it like the GPS in the car. Whether it's on your phone or the car, when you're driving along, you have a destination. You plug it into the GPS, and the GPS gives you some directions, whether it's Google Maps or Siri or whomever. And if you decide that you want to take a slightly different route, maybe you want to take the scenic route instead of the fast highway route, and you turn right when GPS said turn left. And next thing you know, you hear that little beep, 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 beep. And Siri's yelling at you saying, wait a second, turn around, you're not going the right way, turn around. That's how I started to really see the obstacles and different, sabotaging moments that would pop up in life. It was almost like the beeping from the GPS when everything started to fall apart, when things became very difficult, when there was that overwhelm, like no matter how hard I work, no matter how hard I try to get this done, it doesn't feel like I'm getting anywhere. What's going on? That's like the beep, beep, beep of the GPS. So I want to invite you at that moment to practice the first C of my 3C energy recipe. I like how that rhymes. Love alliteration and rhyming. But the 3C energy recipe for overwhelm. And that first C is check in. How easy is it to ignore beeping in life? We become so desensitized to the noises around us that we've gotten into the habit of tuning out the little signs, these little inklings, these little nudges that are trying to get our attention, saying, hey, the universe is saying you had a goal, a dream you wanted to manifest, and to get there, you've gone off road, you've gone off path. What's happened? So I want to encourage you to start to check in. Now that's the first C. What do I mean by check in? That means take a moment to catch your breath. The check-in is checking in with your spirit, because often when we get to a place of overwhelm, we've neglected our spirit. We've lost a spiritual practice. We haven't been feeding our spirit. And what does that mean? That means life has become routine. It's become dull. It's become automated. It's the hamster wheel. We've lost the joy and the excitement, the awe, right? That awe and just excitement that comes from noticing these signs and symbols that we say, oh my goodness, this can't be a coincidence. This is synchronicity. So to do that, to get back into the sacred, to experience the spiritual, to feed your spirit, check in. That means taking 5 minutes to step away from the noise, and you can set the timer on your phone, doesn't have to be long, but even 5 minutes in connecting to the sounds of nature. Even if you have to play something on YouTube or Spotify, just to listen to the ocean, to listen to bird song, to listen to the wind through the trees. It is absolutely incredible. It makes a big difference. So with that being said, checking in is the first step. The next aspect of this is choose. Okay, once you check in with your heart and you cross-check it with your head, and I can go into more about that a little bit later, but the next thing is to choose. Now, when you choose, what that means is you're setting up a strategy or plan. So go back to the analogy of the GPS. All of a sudden, you've gone off course, you're not going in the original direction that Siri said, you want to get to Grater's Ice Cream. Plug for the local ice cream shop. Love it. Oh, they came out with a new vegan ice cream. So good. Anyway, and GPS says, hey, you've gone off road. You're not on the right track. Beep, 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 beep. Turn around. Well, you at that moment get to choose. Let's say you pay attention to the noise, to the obstacles, to the overwhelm. You check in with your heart and you say, oh, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? Let me decide now. Let me choose. Do I still want to stay on this path? Because if I stay on this path, as I work towards my goal, I don't get sleep. I don't get to eat healthy meals. There's no time to do food preparation or see my family. So maybe at that moment, there's course correction. You say, I still want to go towards that goal, but rather than taking the highway, I'm going to take the scenic route. So I'm going to tweak things just a little bit. So choosing is about the strategy of the situation and moment. Doesn't mean you can't get to your goal. It's just like, let's redirect, let's reroute. And then the final C is claim. Claim your destiny. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road, where we take action. So often when it comes to manifesting dreams, there are key pieces that are left out. I have a beloved teacher who says, as I clear energy here, I cough to clear energy, but a beloved teacher who says, don't expect to just sit in a room, and and wish for and feel and imagine getting Chinese food delivered to your door. You have to take action, you've actually got to pick up the phone or go online and put in the order. And then you have to pay for it. And then you have to open the door to receive it and take it into your house. There's a lot of action steps involved. So when it comes to manifesting and going after our dreams, action is a big part of it. So you've taken a moment to check in and say, what does my heart really want? What does it value? And you double check it with your head. You're like, okay, let me put this through some logic. Like, my heart wants to fly to the moon. It's like, okay, that's great. But let's bring some reality and practicality into that. If we're going to fly to the moon, does it mean the actual moon? And if so, we've got to go along this path line. The second piece is to choose. You want to choose the pathway that's going to take you towards your dream, especially if you're rerouting. Because at this point with overwhelm, there's a recognition that things are out of alignment. If I keep on this path, I'm going to burn out. And the dream has been planted there for a reason. And then finally, the last thing is claim it. So you've chosen your route, you've checked it across your heart and your head, and now you say, I'm going to take action. And today is about that first action step. And it might be something as simple as rescheduling your Google Calendar or your diary and saying, or planner, lots of names for it, and saying, what, I'm going to set aside 10 minutes in the morning just to simply sit and enjoy a cup of coffee or tea. Or it could be something as simple as, at 9 o'clock, all electronics get shut off and I just spend some time reading in bed. But you choose something. It can be a small action step along the way, but I invite you, take action today on one small step on your rerouting plan. It's going to make a profound difference in what you're doing and reaching your goal. So thank you so much for tuning in and playing with me. Let me know, do you guys ever use GPS? Do you like Google Maps? Do you use Apple Maps? I'm always brought up more questions than it did answers. Please click on the link below. I have an incredible community where I'm diving into these sacred practices to support you in even greater depths. All right, I'll catch y'all on the flip side, and thanks for joining me live. Mwah. Bye, guys.